This is the eHealth Radio Network, your source for health advice on demand. And now your host, Eric Michaels.
Thanks once again for joining us here on eHealth Radio and the eHealth Radio Network. This is your host, Eric Michaels. Today we're speaking with Dahlia Rizk, the founder and inventor of Buckle Me Baby Coats, a line of winter wear for infants and toddlers that keeps them safe in car seats. She handles all aspects of product development and customer service, which allows her to be in touch with her customers and consumers on a daily basis. And Dahlia, thanks for joining us here today on eHealth Radio.
Thank you for having me this morning.
Our pleasure, and certainly looking forward to hearing all about Buckle Me Baby Coats. So parents are pretty diligent about having their child's car seat properly installed, and there are a lot of resources available to ensure you've done it right. But what else is there about car seats that some parents aren't often aware of? Let's start things off with that question there.
I would agree with you. Parents are really diligent about spending a lot of time researching and buying what they think is the safest car seat. But that's really where parents get it wrong. All car seats are tested to the same standard, so they all have the same level of safety pretty much. What parents are really unaware of is that 80% of car seats are installed and used incorrectly. So that's where the real danger is. What parents need to be careful about is to make sure that they find a local child passenger safety tech that's going to show them the right way to use and install their seat. There's a lot of great Instagram accounts if they're not able to get out and about with COVID, like at Safe in the Seat or at Safe Beginnings, who teach parents proper car seat safety. And then, of course, there's that winter car seat danger where parents are instructed by the NHTSA and the American Academy of Pediatrics to take their traditional puffy coats off before putting their child in the car seat because of the danger all that puffiness creates underneath the harness when it compresses in a crash.
Already some valuable advice right here. Now, living in New Hampshire with 3 children, what did you do with this knowledge about heavy coats in car seats?
Oh, man. When I first found out about the puffy coat danger, I was taking my kids' coats off at every single trip and every single stop. And at every single trip and stop, we would have a massive meltdown. The kids didn't want to put the coats on in the first place. And taking it off at every stop was just tantrum after tantrum. But I knew they were cold, I knew they were uncomfortable, and I did feel bad for them, but I also understood that the danger, the puffy coat danger, was a real danger, and I didn't want to risk that for my children. So I started thinking there must be a solution, but I hadn't found it yet. And, as a mental health practitioner, I knew that the constant stress and battles with my kids wasn't good for me, wasn't good for them. And while not on par with the patients I see for PTSD on a daily basis, I knew that all that anxiety I was carrying and the anxiety I'm putting on the kids by pulling that coat off isn't good for anybody. And I didn't feel like, as a parent, I had to choose between what's the safest for my child and the stress levels that my kids and I were going through to keep up with this winter coat danger.
And speaking of solutions, what was your solution to this dilemma which parents face day after day every time they transport their children?
One day I was looking at the coat and I'm like, the problem isn't the rules, the problem is the coat. So I played around with redesigning a traditional coat, trying to find a way to make it so that the straps would be right on the chest and shoulders. I cut apart an old coat. I'm not a sewer, so I did a rough redesign and I put the zipper on the side and opened up the shoulder seams and found that the harness could be right on the chest and shoulders safely without taking that coat off every single time. And it was such an easier, better solution for me and for the kids.
Absolutely brilliant. No doubt about that. Today we are with Dahlia Rizk, the founder and inventor of Buckle Me Baby Coats, a line of winter wear for infants and toddlers that keeps them safe in car seats, here on eHealth Radio's Children's Health and Health News channels, a part of the eHealth Radio Network. Now, out of curiosity, what was the general reaction to your new design?
I thought when I would shop this around to coat manufacturers, they would all jump on it, but because it solved such a basic problem. But every coat company I approached didn't see it as a problem and didn't think that parents needed this solution. And, but I knew parents needed it. I knew I needed it. So one day I was watching another mother in the parking lot struggle the way I've struggled, and she looked miserable the way I felt miserable. And I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to do it myself. I had a prototype made. I crash tested it. I took it around to a bunch of first responders to see what they thought of it. And then I decided to start selling it online, and it's gone it's gone viral very quickly. We were on Shark Tank. We've been all over the news, Good Morning America, Scary Mommy, you name it. Parents really love that ease of being able to put their child in the car seat safely without having to completely undress them just to get in the car.
Well, it takes someone like yourself to see a problem, have a solution, and make it happen, and you're certainly making such a huge difference in all regards and getting a lot of coverage, and I'm happy about that. Now, lastly, what's one business strategy that you think was most important as you began to market your life-saving coats?
I know that parents rely on child passenger safety techs, CPSTs, to ensure their car seats are installed properly, and I know that most child passenger safety techs are either pediatric nurses, childbirth educators, police officers, EMTs, and other health-related professionals. So I knew that those are going to be the people who were most aware of the danger of the puffy winter coats in the car seat. So I decided they were a key group to work with. So when I started off, I went to local New Hampshire CPSTs and attended a couple of child passenger safety conventions to get feedback on the coats and also to spread the word to parents through a bunch of affiliate programs that are with CPSTs, so that parents could have that outreach at the grassroots level. And I think that's what helped the most in marketing the coats, because some of my earliest adopters are people who really, truly believe in the coats and understand the safety aspect at a very fundamental level.
Dahlia, we certainly appreciate your joining us here today and for the impact you're having in the space. Quite impressive and such a need. And again, we thank you for what you're doing and have done. Before you go into conclusion, is there any closing thoughts, a takeaway, or a tip, or anything else you'd like to share as we wrap things up today?
Sure. Yeah, I would say when it comes to parenting, just trust your instinct. Even if the big guys, like the big companies, were telling you don't know what you're doing or you're wrong about something, as a parent, you know best when it comes to your child's safety. And if you can find a better way or an easier way or a safer way, and you know in your gut that's the right way, then go for it.
And I couldn't agree more, 100% behind you in that final response and tip, and a perfect place to conclude today. Tell us, where can listeners shop around and check out Buckle Me Baby Coats online?
We have the coats on bucklemecoats.com. We're also in Bye Bye Baby, Amazon, and we should be in Walmart in a couple of weeks.
Totally awesome. Again, folks, it is bucklemecoats.com. Dahlia, all the best, and thanks so much for joining us here today on eHealth Radio.
Thanks, Eric. It was nice joining you.
And you're certainly more than welcome anytime. We've been speaking with Dahlia Rizk, the founder and inventor of Buckle Me Baby Coats, a line of winter wear for infants and toddlers that keeps them safe in car seats. And for all the details and to shop around, visit bucklemecoats.com. And again, this has been your host, Eric Michaels, and we do thank you for your continued support of the eHealth Radio Network. Join us again soon for another episode that will help further expand your knowledge on those things that are important to your health and wellness. For more eHealth Radio reports, we invite you to visit our main radio channel site at eHealthRadioNetwork.com. And as always, we do thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in to the eHealth Radio Network. For more information or to subscribe to this podcast, visit eHealthRadioNetwork.com.